So we're in Mazeppa. This is Bob Benson behind me. He's been contacting me. He said he knew some places where he was going to show us where the old Midland went through. So that's our goal today. So we're going to work from Mazeppa to Zumbro Falls, and he's going to show me a few things, and we're going to see if we can place the depot in Zumbro Falls when we get there. So
should be fun.
Should be fun, yep. So Bob was just telling me that you see that notch over there between the two buildings? We're in Mazeppa, and that's where we're starting this, and that's where we kind of left off. And the line came through there, and I'm going to pan around, and you see this church sign that's in front of us? Railroad went right through there. So this is our starting point, and we're going to go find and track down some more railroad bed. So I'm going to put up a map and show you where I am. We are still in Mazeppa, and you know, there's kind of a hill here, but we're both kind of on the same track that the railroad had to go through here. Maybe just off of this gravel road you see here to the left, but there's a hill here, so I'm thinking probably on even both sides. One over there somewhere, and then maybe back when the hill drops off over there, because you know they're trying to keep that railroad level, and you know the map shows it coming through here. So one of history's secrets. So I'm going to put up another map. I'm following Bob. Came up to this little driveway, and wow, was it cool pulling in here. You'd never know this was here. And we're going to be walking down in that direction. That's we're going to find the rail bed down there, but just check this area out. You'd never find this from the road. Isn't that beautiful? And then down this way here would be our rail bed. And we're talking the Midland, Milwaukee Road now. So once we get into the trail here, right away, you can see the cut. You can see the mound of dirt over on this side. And you can definitely see the mound of dirt on this side. So right here is our rail bed. I think that's so cool. Oh, and by the way, Bob has went out in front of me here in the respect that every place we go today, he has permission to walk this land. I just need to put that out there. So we're coming from this direction, and you can see the cut. There's a mound of dirt there, and then it stops. Same thing on this side. And now we're on a raised bed. And right over there is the Zumbro River. So here we've got a hill to the right, and it's cut on flat, and then it goes down there. I just love this kind of stuff. So does he.
Right here we're in another cut.
Yep, another cut. Yeah. So that's the direction we were coming from, and you can see this turning here. It's going out that way, but that is not the railroad. Okay, it would have came on along the river. It's a good look at the river. Hear how quiet this is? And where Bob is That's our railroad going out there. You can almost see a notch in the trees.
That's where we're headed.
So here's this old house right on the river. Boy, he had a good spot, whoever that was. Isn't this beautiful? And we're on the old railroad bed right here. Anybody got to use the facilities? So we're not going to poke our head around inside that house. Probably 50s maybe, I don't know, could even be 40s, who knows. That siding is probably 70s. But there's solar panels on the roof. So definitely being used by someone. Okay, so this is the end of our leg. You see that fence out there? That's the end of our permissions. Now naturally we could walk it further, but private property. So we got to respect it. So it's time to turn around. Sometimes I add these little notes. That direction there is heading towards Mazeppa. And the direction we came from is going out towards Zumbro Falls. So Bob was just reminding me about the story about that fella on the locomotive that got shot between Zumbro Falls and Mazeppa. That could be something that happened right on this railroad bed we're talking about. I mean, no one knows exactly where it happened, but one never knows. So that's the leg of the rail bed we just walked. We're back to where we started. And Bob's out in front, and that's our rail bed right there. So even this direction, you can see that we're on a raised bed here. Or it goes off in that direction.
No, we're on it.
Are we on the bed?
That's just a little anomaly there. There's a gap right there.
Okay. It comes up this way. So that's the bed, and you can see it's dropping off over here. So it's somewhat of a raised bed. So this is the end of the line on this end. You can see the raised bed here. And about where that tree or so is the end of the property line. So we're going to end this here.
Isn't that cool?
Yes, so there was a cave here.
Yeah. Even that ventilation up top.
So I'm thinking,
Like stored groceries or food.
oh,
I'm guessing. Basically a root cellar in the side of a hill.
do you think that's what that was?
I'm
Or
guessing.
an old kiln, or
Maybe
that's
that.
been changed into something?
I thought about.
I don't know, is this black stuff smoke or mold? You know? Look at this, there's stuff carved into the...
Oh, Lisa was here. Oh, no, wait.
It's all blocked off, though. Yeah. I don't think my camera will...
Yeah, I never know what's living in there. It's a
Yeah.
nice house, but I can tell it goes back ways. There's an old wooden ladder back there.
So my flash didn't work the way I thought it would, but you can see back there. It looks like it goes back about 20 feet, so I don't know. I just, you know, it has to be man-made, don't you think? That they carved this out? I don't know, but I do think it could have been a root cellar. This thing is so cool. You'd never know this was here unless you had somebody like Bob to bring you over to it. That's awesome. So that is Hog Run Cave, and there's a story of some robbers that had robbed a bank or something, and robbery in St. Paul, and came down here and hid their money in that cave years ago. But nobody knows how accurate that story is. It's kind of a wives' tale that's going on down here. So there's the rail bed that way.
And then I went this way. It's a jungle gym in there, and maybe 50 feet in is a creek. And if there is any remnants, I can't see them because the grass is this tall, and when you get near the creek, the terrain drops off like a wall. So
yeah.
If you were gonna go back there and try to find it, I would say early spring before the frost.
You can barely see that gate over there. That's where we came from, where the road is. And this is the bed right here. And you can see already that it's raised up. So we're still on the rail bed. So right out there, that high point is your rail bed. Comes around. And then heads out to the right. So that way, Zumbro Falls, you can see the bed here raised. Actually goes through these trees in front of me, and then it turns right in through here and follows that tree line, those poles, all the way back there. And then a couple of properties from that point is what you saw us walk earlier. So we stopped here for a moment. This is Wabasha County 7. And this is about where the railroad would have crossed over the road. And then right about, right down in that area there, it'd be where the railroad went. And we're heading off in that direction now to see if we can pick it up. So this is 608th Street. And that tree line is our rail bed. I'll give you another look at it on the other side. So here's another look at that tree line. That's the rail bed. And you can see it coming closer to the road. See the road kind of bending to the right? So they're going to kind of meet over there, and then they'll kind of follow the road for a while, I guess. So if we follow that tree line out there, it's coming around, it's making a bend to the left and following this tree line, and then somewhere in this area, it's going to make a loop, and it's actually going to go back the other way, just in front of those bluffs that you see in the background there.
Beautiful flat valley.
So we are at the back of the campgrounds, and we think the railroad was coming through here. Probably this area here, where you see these trees, was probably the rail bed. And we're going to walk down this street, this little gravel area, and we're going to see if we can hook up to where that connects. So we're on a little road at the back of the campgrounds, and we're going to walk down and see if we can pick up the rail bed. So It looks like we could, but one never knows. All right, I know it's kind of hard to see, but that's rail bed right in there. It's kind of making a turn here.
So now we're on back on the Midland rail line, heading west from Bluff Valley back towards Mazeppa. And as the crow flies from that valley we were just in, maybe a mile and a half.
So we're walking down this trail. About maybe 20 steps ago, I saw this and I thought, what the heck? Someone's been here before us. So we're still following the rail bed here.
Don't look now, but we're in a cut.
Yep. See the mound there? Mound over on this side? Yep, rail cut. So this road kind of makes a little loop, a turnaround here, and goes back the other way. Right there. Right there. That's our railroad bed going through. Right through there. So we are still in this camping park. And that's rail bed right over there that we're seeing driving through the park. I just wanted to note it. So we're still in this camping park, and there's kind of a hill over here. And then the river is right down in there. So the thought is this road coming through here between the hill and the river has to be the old rail bed right in that area. And once again, we're, at a turnaround here. It's got to go through there somewhere. And my wife was worried about rattlesnakes.
Oh, yes.
Careful. Well, that didn't take long. There's your rail bed right over there. Getting out that way. Okay, I was just standing over there when I pointed to the rail bed. Here it is. This trail is making a bend. You see what I see right there? Yeah. So this must have been a wash. Probably still is a wash. Well, I see a little bit of a culvert here, but it's a bigger wash than that. There's the other side.
Pilings up on top.
Okay. Right up there. So, this was a trestle.
I'll be a tour guide.
Here's the ones down on the lower end. Right here. Yeah, Bob is standing.
I'm your tour guide.
Bob is standing where those ones are.
1, 2, I'm standing on the third one, 4 and 5.
Yep.
All on the road match down there.
He's coming down. So I'll just pan over. This would have been your trestle. And connecting on this other side. So you can barely see the river over there. You can see the bank on the other side. Then right behind Bob is your railroad bed.
We're going to get up on there and we're going to walk to Zumbro Falls.
That's where the trestle would have been. So you can see our rail bed there along the hillside. Then there's a flat cut and it drops down. can hear the river. And that's where our railroad goes, and where that cut, where the trestle was. So here's a section where you would have had a lot of runoff. There's a couple of, it's a cement pipe here, and then even lower down there is a clay pipe. So my energy level is coming to the end.
I warm up.
A man must know his own limitations. Bob has got all kinds of energy. I think eat Wheaties. Is that what you eat in the morning? I don't know. It wasn't Wheaties this morning at the restaurant.
No, we had a breakfast sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it goes on and on. So you could continue to walk this, and it's cut. You know, at this point, it's still cut right out of the side of the hill, and then it drops down. Oh, I'll bet that's
30,
25, yeah, 30, 40. It's a ways down. So that's the way we came from, so I think we're just gonna head back from here. So, note to wife, this is Bob, and he's a paramedic. So all your worries about today are over. You know, all the rattlesnake scary stuff you were telling me this morning. So
We've only seen 3 rattlesnakes.
there you go.
Not so bad.
Good day, hey?
Yeah.